Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ICC BIZ Live, our knowledge show with C-suite executives. Today we have with us Mr. Pankaj Kumar Satija, head of Ferro Alloys and Minerals division of Tata Steel Limited. You have heard about the concept of ESG, environment, society, and governance, but this exemplifies ESL, environment, society, and leadership. ESG is without implementation is of no use. And Mr. Satija is a live example of how ESG can be implemented. He is a true leader. He's I may have the liberty of introducing him briefly to you. He's the head of Ferro Alloys and Minerals Division, Tata Steel, leading the Ferro Alloys business and covering the full chromite and manganese value chain, serving global and domestic markets. He has more than 28 years experience in strategic planning, project management, mine planning, mining operations, training, production, and maintenance. He is a mining engineer from IIT Dhanbad and PGDM from Accelerate Jamshedpur, and he's also a PMP certified professional. He has been in the Task Force for Sustainable Development Framework for Indian mining industry, constituted by Ministry of Mines. As I was telling, he's a leader in this field. Task Force for Modernization of the DGMS, constituted by Ministry of Labor and Employment. Task Force for Framing Rules of Occupational Health, Safety and Working Conditions in Mines, constituted by Ministry of Labor and Employment. DGMS Committee for Identification of Collaboration between DGMS and IBM. Task Force for Suggesting Alternative Mechanism for Computation of ASP Iron Ore. Member of Inter-Ministerial Committee of Ministry of Coal, Government of India, for making suggestions on augmentation and consumption of domestic coking coal by steel sector, and member of Board of Mining Examinations for Ministry of Labor and Employment. I can go on and on about him. He is also a recipient of National Geoscience Award and the Bala Gulshan Tandon Excellence Award. Today, our discussion is on water in the steel and mining industry. So, sir, I would like to begin with the first question: what water means to us, to you, and to everyone?
Yeah, thank you, Rajshri. Thank you for a very kind introduction. So, water we all know is it's a life. Water is life, we always say. And there is famous Apa Sukta in Rigved, which the first mantra itself is Apohistha Mayabhuvastha Na Urjit Dhatana Mahirana Rakshasa. I think, Rajshri, you can unmute your because echo is coming.
Echo is coming.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay.
So I was mentioning the first mantra of Rigved Apa Sukta, which says that Apohistha Mayabhuvastha Naudi Radhatana Mahena Rat Rakshasa. It means that because of the water, the atmosphere is very refreshing and it imparts us with vigor and strength. And we all revere water because of the essence that it gladdens us with the pure presence of water. So that's the basic mantra which we all know about how water is there for all of us. We are also reminded of one of the famous doha of Kabir. कबीरा कुआं एक है पानी भरे अनेक भांडे में ही भेद है पानी सब में एक. So one of the meaning of this doha is that whosoever goes towards water body, the water doesn't differentiate. The vessel may be different, but the water is given without any discrimination. The other meaning is that the God has made all of us, and the water is one such thing which is used as a metaphor that we all are one, and it is our physical structure which differentiates. But if you look at the ground, water is the biggest discriminator. At the ground, water is one where you see that the rich and influential has the access to water, the poor or the marginalized still struggles. And a picture of a woman going to get water, it's very common in India. People bring a can and looking for a water tanker is also very common. And this further exacerbates when there are some guests in home, and the woman has to take the daughter also to get water. She has to drop out from this. So
Right.
that's the sense that water also takes care of, and what all we have to do in that. Kavitas also explains that भरा हुआ मोरी गगरी फूटी मैं पनिया भरन से छूटी मोरे सर से टली बला. Here also he is trying to say that once you are get rid of a water issue, probably your life is simpler. But we all know that water, climate change, biodiversity, and energy all are interrelated. There is
Absolutely,
famous,
sir.
there is a famous quote also that if climate change is the shark, water is thick. So the manifestation of climate change happens through water, either in forms of drought or in form of flood. We all
Right.
know the relationship between energy and water and how the solar power came. The water extraction uh, has gone up because people don't have to pay water. And biodiversity also, we know that it's also very commonly linked, and water and tree, they are complementing. So water has so far touched upon many aspects, and it also inspires others also. I would say Kalidas, when he wrote Meghdut, he wanted to convey the message of a lover to a beloved through cloud, rain-laden cloud. And in Ramcharitmanas also, in Kiskindakand, Bhagwan Ram says to Lakshman that Ghan Ghamand Manapagarjat Ghora Priya Hin Datatman Ghora. So water is inspiring, influencing everyone. And for us also, 60% or more than 60 to 70% of the human adult body is water. And if you take the various parts of the body, the brain and heart are composed of 73% water, lungs about 83%. Even the bones are water, which has 31% of its content. There are various
Yes, sir.
development. There are various development also happening in terms of water. Dr. Gerard Pollack, he came out with one report, the fourth phase of water, beyond solid, liquid, and vapor. And there is one famous book by Dr. Priyadun Batman Gellens. He says that your body's many cries for water. You are not sick, you are thirsty. And don't treat thirst with medicine. So water had many meaning for everyone, for a poet, for a philosopher, for a farmer, for a person in climate change, a person working in energy or in industry. It influences, it inspires everyone. We all know that the famous line of Rahman also, that Rahman pani rakhiye bin pani sab soon.
Sir, if you
So
permit, maybe दो line बोलूं. Water, water everywhere, not any drop to drink.
that's true. That's true. So that's the other dimension of it, but you can't live without water.
Yeah.
And in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan Krishna says that Rasoham Apsu Kante Prabhasmi Shashi Surya. That whatever the essence of water is there, it is heat. So the question what you ask, that what water means to me, you or everyone, it depends upon what context or what field he is. But it is, there is no denial that it is not impacting or not influencing or not inspiring. He or she somewhere or other is impacted by the presence or the absence of water.
So, sir, how are we India doing in water management? I mean, reports are not that good. And what are your recommendations to promote efficient water management practices in India? You may on a economic perspective or industry perspective, whichever you may say.
So primarily what we are measuring water intensity. Most of the people in the industry, they measure uh, tonnage handle with respect to per cubic meter of water. But then the water use efficiency is a concept which is also doing. The first, it was termed as by Briggs and Sanch in 1913 It was basically showing a relationship with plant productivity and water use, that how much biomass is produced per unit of water by a plant. And later on, it also gone ahead with different parameters coming out how to measure the water use efficiency. Some people have started using it in the revenue per volume of water. So global average of water use is 15 USD per meter cube, but value ranges from 2 to 1000 USD per meter. Depends upon whether you're in agriculture or in the highly industrialized. But I would like to mention here that it's not only for industry. So there is a famous story about whose water it is. Once upon a time, a bird wanted to lay the eggs. He sought some area where he could lay the eggs, and then she rested for 2 days, making some burrow. Afterwards, a bird came, and he found it is a very cozy or comfortable place. So he further dig that area, and then he rested for some time in that hole. Afterwards, some dogs came. They had a smell of bird. They thought that is a good hunt. So this pack of dogs started digging the hole bigger and bigger. They couldn't find both, but then the hole was more bigger. Soon after, the rain happened and the hole was filled with water. Then the buffaloes came and they had started taking bath in those area and they further made it big. After certain time, a poor farmer who was residing somewhere close to that area, he saw this an opportunity and dig further and made the pond very beautiful and bigger. Soon after, a rich farmer, the landlord came, and he thought it is an opportunity, and he told that this land belongs to me and this water belongs to me. So while the rich farmer, the poor farmer, they were doing this conversation that whose water it is, the bird, the goat, the dog, and buffalo, they came and started listening to the rich and poor farmer that whose water it is. So this is the question that the water is a common, I would say, property or common resource. There are different uh, uh, angles also that it belongs to the land, but then this is one area where everyone wants to have an equitable solution or equitable share. And it very well relates to this also. If you see the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, it also promises to solve water-related issues, providing universal and equitable access to safe drinking water, sanitation, reducing pollution, improving water quality, addressing water scarcity, and enhancing water use efficiency. So, water use efficiency has come in the SDG Goal 6, where the target 6.4 is to substantially increase water use efficiency across all sectors, ensuring sustainable withdrawal, supply of fresh water, and substantially reduce the number of people suffering from water scarcity. And not only on that, water use efficiency also impacts food security, SDG 2, economic growth, SDG 8, industrialization and infrastructure, SDG 9, inclusive cities and human health, SDG 11, and responsible consumption, SDG 12. Many industries have lead. In India also, lot many steps have been taken. Government of India, the National Water Mission, a new organization has come, Bureau of Water Efficiency, and hopefully it will get it and we'll see more development in that area. One campaign of Sahi Tata was also launched, where the objective was to see what sort of harvest we should have in terms of nutritional value. It should be economically remunerative also and water efficient. So many other countries have also, like South Korea, the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, they have also taken a guideline on what should be the smart water management initiative. In Australia, Water Guide provides the framework for water use efficiency. Let us assist policymakers in developing a strategy for improvement over time. And then labeling of the different and appliances, that how efficient they are in terms of efficiency. So it is not only in India or Australia, but China, Ireland, Israel, New Zealand, everywhere this efficiency benchmarking and labeling is going on. And I'm sure that more and more people and more sectors will start working on its direction of having water efficient practices and water use efficient.
So, sir, the main what I'm learning from you is it is entirely more about the will, the desire to work towards preserving, conserving, recycling water. If I understood, it is more about the attitude, how serious I am in water management. Am I right, sir?
Yes, true.
And now, yeah, one brief question, just while hearing you, how are we doing in recycling of water in India as a whole?
So if you see from the perspective of industry,
Yeah.
most of the companies they are moving towards zero liquid discharge, and in either in the residential or in the industry area, the ETP and STP are becoming very common. So I would say these are also low hanging fruits. Instead of uh, tracking on the fresh water, these are the sources where you can get more water by treating those effluents and the discharge water. So industry is also gearing up, and I see greater opportunities in other sectors also.
Okay. Next question, sir. How can we move more? How can we do more towards groundwater? On
So groundwater,
we Yeah. Yes, sir.
sorry,
Continue.
please, so groundwater is very important for India in the context that we are having 18% of world population, and we are having only 4% of freshwater resources. So that way, the population is skewed, and we are having with a very limited resource, and there's so much of pressure on groundwater. So in terms of numbers, over the last 50 years, the number of borewells has grown from 1 million to 20 million, making India one of the largest user of groundwater. So knowledge or understanding is not difficult. In India, a lot many work has done in the past also. So Varan here, he has written a book, Brihat Samhita, and the book claims that there are 6 animals and 30 plants which give the indication of water. And it's the chapter name is the Kargalam. The Kargalam is water exploration. So that is there in India. We all know that one of the shloka is Jambasho Dagdhes Siradho Nardoy Purva Praladho Gandhika Pandava Manduka. It means that in a track where Jambu is found, and steadily rain will be obtained of 10 cubits at a distance of 3 cubits to north. The signs are the earth has been hidden at a depth of 5 cubits, till white clay, further it frogs. So the knowledge of underground water is there, but what we have done, we have not given due attention to uh, water. And India also, we harvest only 8% of the food. So that is one area where we need to do more. There have been certain initiatives of the government, like Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which was launched in 2019 with 56 districts of India. Uh, the Amrit Sarovar mission was also launched in 2022, and 75 water bodies. There is a target, and 50,000 Amrit Sarovars have been constructed also. One more scheme of Atal Bhujal, which is also gaining popularity, which is primarily on the community participation. Groundwater management and regulation, that is also one area, and then how we are monitoring the national aquifer. Mapping. So that also gives more insight at how we are moving towards. In my opinion, we need to integrated water resource management plans that address the water allocation, quality control, and dispute resolution among users. So India has seen a good progress in Pani Panchayat. It started from Maharashtra, now it is in many states.
Exactly.
My personal belief is that it should be decentralized. The community participation should be more and more. When the community is there in that aspect, probably the equitable resource and more control from the supply side should happen. Rainwater harvesting further enhances the recharging, and the user also will be more aware about how much water they should use in what proportion. So, lot many work has been done, but more has to be done.
Hello, sir. You're there?
Yeah, and then
Okay. Now I will come to the last question. How can sustainable water management practices be integrated into mining operations to reduce freshwater consumption and minimize environmental impact? And how you can use technology to achieve the same?
so basically, the most of the mines, whether it is open cast or underground, you need to pump out water for uh, mining, and there
Right.
we should have a good closed loop water system that we can reuse or recycle, which is the question you asked. So most of the companies they have gone for on-site effluent treatment plants to treat contaminated water before use or discharge. So that is one which every company has to do, and they are doing also. Internally within the premises and outside the premises, how each mining company can go for water harvesting and storage, which will also help in recharging the aquifers. The surface water management, the burns or the check dams, prevent runoffs and improve water retention, because that is one area in the mining where a lot of runoffs go to the nearby water bodies, and better dump management in terms of settling pond and check dams will further help in the runoff and surface water management. Tailing is one area where not many work has been done, but now there is technology of paste filling also, which requires less water. That area also can be taken care of. And then what type of water you are using for dust suppression, how different chemicals you can use to have lesser water consumption. More importantly, company should have its own regular water audit in terms of quantity and quality. Advanced technology very much needed in terms of remote sensing in GIS body to know the overall water infrastructure within and outside the mining area. We can use the satellite imagery and then can plan how we can work more and more towards it. Inside the mine, the plant, we can have a smart water management system, which we have done, where you can put sensor in almost all the reservoir and the pipe, where you can find out how much water is being. Alert can also be generated when there is a leakage and arrest those leakage. And you can use AI algorithms also to predict water leak, consumption pattern. And as in the recent past, drone has become a regular feature, so that can also be used for monitoring the facilities, tailing dams, drainage system, ensuring compliance and early detection of spills. So primarily, should be to reduce the water pollution, how we can recharge the groundwater, and how we can also ensure the biodiversity in and around the area. So, as government is also working on Nirmal Dhara and Aviral Dhara, we need to ensure that the water what is flowing is clean and it's continuous. So, these are certain initiatives every company can take, and I think most of the companies are taking also.
Are the private sector mines and government sector mines all are equally working on water management with equal?
So there are certain which are bound by compliance, bound by regulation, like ETP
Okay.
has to be there. So every company is having the ETP. The AI and the technology part depends on company to company at which level of digital intervention or technology intervention you want to have. So primarily, if I say there are certain conditions which come with the consent to operate or environment conditions which every company has to comply. There are certain things which a company, because of its own leadership position, they take lead and they do more work on that. And that also helps other companies to learn and emulate. So, I mean, in the learning curve, it will always happen that some companies are ahead, some companies are followers. End of the day, it should be done by all. That should be the objective.
Right, sir. Now we have come to our end of this lively discussion on water and water management and in industry. So, if there are questions, oh, there's one question. What's you can see on the screen, sir? Would you like to answer?
So, water use in steel industry has been very good. I mean, long back, most of the steel companies, say 15 years back, when they were drawing water to 11 meter cube per ton, now past 7 years came to 6, 5, and are now also working at 3. So there has been a gradual reduction in specific water consumption. And many initiatives, most of the companies have to taken, as I mentioned you, the ETP and the STP are the low-hanging fruits where you can draw uh, water from there. The processes have been streamlined, and most of the companies they have used smart sensors, IoT-based devices to arrest those leakages and ensure that how much water is being used. As I mentioned about the water efficiency part, so that one definition is also water efficiency is that in a given process flow, how much water should be used and how much water you are using. So that will also give a lot of insight that which are the area or which are the processes which are consuming more water than the design, and there you can take. So most of the companies are doing it. It will vary one country to other. Yes, TERI has come out with a report, benchmarking study of steel company.
And any other question? Chances
So
making rainwater harvesting mandatory.
yeah, so it will happen. I mean, certain things which you don't do, then it comes to you by force. Water is one area where it's not only industry or if you see in Jharkhand, government has taken a lot of initiatives. They call it DOVA in that language. And most of the companies also, they are in some of the conditions in their environmental conditions, it is written that you have to do rainwater harvesting. So in terms of mandatory, yes, it is there when it comes with your consent to operate and comes with your environmental conditions. But I would say that not be limited to the legal or the mandatory part. It should be more voluntarily and ethical part. I mean, it's a moral responsibility of each individual to harvest. I mean, just I told the number, but it's 8% only, and most of the water is not being harvested or captured. So that is one area which is I mean, we are losing. Uh, and I'm sure that coming forward, it will be more and awareness on this aspect, and people will work on it.
Right, sir. If there are no other questions, we have crossed our hourly limit of half an hour. No other questions, then we may end the session with a big thank you to sir.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.